Thank you, Nina. Have you ever wondered, or have we sat down to think about what is it is in life that makes us happy? What is it that makes people happy? Now, a study was conducted on millennials when they asked these people what is it that they thought made them happy. Some of them said being famous. Some of them said getting rich. People have various things or situations that they associate with happiness. Now, there is a very popular study known as the Harvard study um, that studied adults in the States. It's started in the 1930s. It is one of the longest running research that has tried to just study people in their natural, environments to understand what is it that is making people healthy and happy. Now, the main evidence from this study, and I'll encourage people to look it up. Just Google the Harvard study. There are so many TED speakers who have spoken about this research. Conclusion is the fact that the key to a long, healthy, and happy life is our social connections, good relationships. Now, today we are going to talk about social networks, good connections. But this time around, we have our own Dr. Evans Asamane, who did a study like that among African and Caribbean people in the UK. He's going to talk to us about, I'm sure he's going to share some findings from this study and show us how we can have positive social connections over the Christmas, but also beyond, to help us all have a healthy but also happier life. Dr. Asamane, you're welcome to our Healthy Heart session. I'm going to pass over. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to take myself off so you can share your slides. Please
Thank
do
you.
engage wherever you are. This is a very important topic, so please ask all the questions. The research has been established that we need this. It is not enough to just focus on healthy eating and exercise. We need positive relationships, social connections, healthy ones. So let's learn from, or maybe get some reminders from Dr. Asamane as he takes us through today's presentation.
Thank you so much, Hibbah. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I think you said it all by starting with the Harvard study. Looks like you give a kind of a summary with it. I'll just share my screen and I can start with something. Okay. So just to put it on slide mode, yeah. Hibbah, can you see my screen?
Yes, just put it on slide mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it on slide mode now?
Yeah. No, do it again.
Okay. Let me stop sharing and
Yeah.
start
Oh,
again.
okay.
Let me just start again. Sorry, my PowerPoint just crashed.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to open it again. Sorry for that. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Is it still crashed?
It's still, yeah, not still. Well, I'll start talking to see. I don't know why it's not trying to open up. Come on. I will just talk through and see if it opens up a bit.
Are you able to send it to me?
Okay, let me just send it to you. Then you
Yeah,
can.
and then you probably just
I'll just
start.
send it to you. Yeah. Then.
Evans, have you sent it? Apologies for the technical glitch. Did we lose you? Because you seem to be frozen. Okay, I think we've lost him. Hopefully he would join back in some few minutes. Whilst he's trying to sort this out, I think I'll just share this Hibbah study that I was talking about. Second, please. Nina, when he comes, please do let me know. I want to show a video. So I might not see him when he's on.
Yes, that's fine. No worries.
I'm just about to show a YouTube video on the Hibbah study that I talked about. Apologies for this technical glitch. Nina, can you hear? Can you hear?
I can hear you.
No, can you hear the YouTube video?
No. Can you just press play so I can hear if it comes?
Okay. No?
No.
Okay. 1 second. Share sound. You should hear now. Whilst we wait for Evans to get back, I just wanted us to look at listen to this Hibbah study that I was talking about. As soon as he gets back, I'm going to pause this.
In your future best self, where would you put your time and your energy? There was a recent survey of millennials asking them what their most important life goals were. And over 80% said that a major life goal for them was to get rich. And another 50% of those same young adults said that another major life goal was to become famous. And we're constantly told to lean into work, to push harder and achieve more. We're given the impression that these are the things that we need to go after in order to have a good life. Pictures of entire lives, of the choices that people make and how pictures are almost impossible to get. Most of what we know about human life, we know from asking people to remember the past. And as we know, hindsight is anything but 20/20. We forget vast amounts of what happens to us in life, and sometimes memory is downright creative. But what if we could watch entire lives as they unfold through time? What if we could study people from the time that they were teenagers all the way into old age to see what really keeps people happy and healthy? We did that. The Harvard study of adult development may be the longest study of adult life that's ever been done. For 75 years, we've tracked the lives of 724 men. Year after year, asking about their work, their home lives, their health, and of course, asking all along the way without knowing how their life stories were going to turn out. Studies like this are exceedingly rare. All
Can you see if
projects
your
of this
PowerPoint
kind
is working now? Because I wanted us to, I don't want to stop this. Okay.
and fall apart within a decade because too many people drop out of the study, or funding for the research dries up, or the researchers get distracted, or they die, and nobody moves the ball further down the field. But through a combination of luck and the persistence of several generations of researchers, this study has survived. About 60 of our original 724 men are still alive, still participating in the study, most of them in their 90s. And we
Okay,
are
I
now
just want to give Evans the opportunity to see if he can share his screen now, and we can still have a, we can still watch the rest of the video, maybe after he finishes his presentation. Okay, so Evans, please go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, sorry for that. That was a technical glitch there, and ended up just restarting my computer to solve it. So yeah, so as Hibbah said, today we really want to look at how to remind ourselves about how we can build these positive networks. We already know what they are, what they can do, which we'll revisit to remind ourselves again. But how do we build them up, and what is the connection of this and how we eat and our overall well-being? So to some of us, our social networks could be having to hang out with our family, with exercise groups and other people. With others, it's just meeting with family, friends, having sharing a birthday, a special occasion together, or having a meal. To others, it could be like attending a social event like the church, our community groups, or anything that we do. And now with the modern trend, for most people, it could just be like scrolling through your phone, trying to connect with one or two people. How is that like? So think about it. Just look at yourself now and what has been happening for the past year. What will you say if I ask you how strong your social network or your ties are? Do you think you have weaker or stronger social ties? You can unmute yourself and just say it. Hibbah, what do you think? Do you think you have stronger social ties? You're on mute again, yeah.
I thought I heard someone trying to speak, but I personally, I think I have very strong social.
Very strong ones. We'll see about that, yeah, which is good. So yeah, if you are confident that you have stronger ties, Let's try using this scale. This is a scale that is mostly used for to measure. So there are a lot of measures out there. Some are just like quick tests to just assess your social network, to see how good you are with your social networks. With this one, it's divided into two, looking at your family and that of your friends. So I have in all 5 questions. I want you to try, you can use your phone or anyway, just take note of the answers, then we can come back to it later on. So let me try the first one, and Doug, you can help me with this one. So with this, the question is asking, how many relatives do you feel at ease with that you can talk about your private matters? So I want you to take note to score, put a score for this question. So if it is nobody, you put 0. If it is 1, you put 1. 2, you put 2. 3, you put 3. If you have 5 to 8 relatives that you feel at ease and you can talk to them about personal issues, then you put 4. If you have 9 or more, then you put 5. Do you see? So just put 1 score for that question. Now let's look at the next question. The next one is asking, how many relatives do you feel close to such that you could call on them for help? So this help could be anything, including financial, any type of help. And we have the same scoring system. So again, you put 0 for none throughout. Till if you have more than 9, then 9 or more, you put 5 for that. And if you have 1, 2, 3, and accordingly, you just put 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 or 4 for 3, and 5 for 4. So that is for family. So have we all done that? Or am I too quick with that? So for question 1 and 2, you should have had 2 answers to that, 2 numbers to it. Then let's look at what about our friends? So in a similar scoring system, we want to know how many of your friends do you see or hear from at least once a month? And again, kindly just put a score by it. Use the answer by using one of these scoring points. Then question 4 is asking how many friends you feel at ease with that you can talk to them about private matters or something personal. So the first one is asking how many you see, how often you see them once a month. Then the next one is with those that you see, who are how do you feel? Do you feel at ease to be able to discuss matters like this? Then the last one is how many friends do you feel close to such that you could call on for them for help? So similar like the way we looked at that for family. So again, just put a score. So I would expect that you should have 1 to 5 with different numbers by them. And I want you to add all these numbers together. So if 1, I had 0, 2, I had 1, 3, I had 4, then 4, I had 1, then 5, I had 0, then that means I have a score of 6. So I just want you to add all your numbers together and see what you have. If you are able to do that, please kindly note this somewhere. We'll come back to it. Just note it somewhere. Now, what are social networks? When we talk about social networks, what are we referring to? Is it by pressing our phones? What are we looking at? What is the thing that we really want to talk about when we mention social ties that we have? So with social ties, these are like the connections we share with family, our friends. And often we use this as a vehicle to be able to channel information across from one place to the other. We use it again as a vehicle or as a source or a medium to be able to share our feelings, the knowledge, the experience, and other things that we have with each other, and to also provide support. And these ties or these social networks, they form a sense of identity for us, and they give us a sense of belonging. They provide support and solidarity for us as we get along. And they are always described, they can be described as weak or poor. or stronger networks, and not all of them are supportive. So there are some networks that are not supportive at all. There are some networks that are weak. There are some networks that are stronger and supportive to be able to derive the benefits. And we'll look at the reason why we should in our various lives be able to differentiate the type of network we have, whether we have a weak one or a stronger one, and the benefits that will come along with that. So to look at this, so why even bother with it? Now that we know what social networks are, what they hold, why bother with it? The first one that stands out is the quality of life. And with quality of life is defined in so many ways, but in just simple terms, it's just the ability to be able to live comfortably, happy, and healthy, to be able to do what you want to do. So at this point, then that is quality of life. So with quality of life, you see that your physical health forms into it, your mental health, and a lot of things to be able to go out and about to do what you really want to do. So those forms as quality of life. And one of the unique ones about social network or social ties linking to this is that with social ties and social networks, it brings about resilience. They call it the psychological resilience. So in terms of loss, in terms of life mishap, in terms of anything that happens to you, you have that psychological resilience, you have that support. And by having that psychological resilience, by knowing that I have somebody there for me, or when something happens, somebody can there, there's the support is there for me, it improves the quality of life overall. So think about it. Let's just say there's something that I want to do and I feel like, okay, if I jump, I will not be able to get that support and I'll fall down, I'll break. It hasn't even happened. But by the thought that there's no support or there's nothing that I can get to support if it happens, it is draining and it causes a lot and will not be able to improve your quality of life. Now let's see this. Let's look at another one. And this is the important one, our nutrition, how we eat, our healthy eating, what we eat, and how we eat. So with stronger social networks, that is, and again, as we looked at the definition of social networks, with stronger social networks, with people that have the quality of social networks to be able to provide that support in it, they are able to have healthy eating as compared to those that do not. And we'll look at a study that we did in our own community, within the Black and Caribbean community, that people that had stronger social networks, they ate well as compared to people that do not. And let's just see an example of that. You have a stronger social network. You are able to pick any information from your social networks that when it comes to what you eat and what not to eat. You might have a partner that reminds you of, oh, don't take junk foods, or don't do this. Or you might have a friend that says, oh, don't do this, or this is not good. They are sharing healthy eating habits, healthy eating tips with you. And whether you like it or not, some of these eventually we're able to go along with it. We're able to adapt to one or two. We might not take everything in entirety, but we will take one or two to be able to support us to eat well. And we'll look at more when I present findings from that study. Then similarly, mental health. So with a lot of the research that has been done out there with everything, people wanted to find out, why is it that having good friends, having good support from family and friends, I have a good mental health, I don't have depression as compared to others. And going back to the core of it, they like unpacking it up to look at it. So this is what happens. Anytime you meet with family, friend, or somebody that you love, a close person, there is this hormone, cortisol, that is, they call it the stress hormone, that is being emitted. And with that, it's able to bring down your stress levels. It's able to let you feel like a sense of belonging. It's able to bring that happiness, bring that smile in your face that you have been longing for. And this plays a huge role when it comes to our mental health at the end of the day. And also linked with risk of death. So with stronger social networks, you have, like as I just explained with the mental health, apart from the mental health, you're able to eat well. There's less risk of obesity. There's less risk of type 2 diabetes. There's less risk of high BP. With all these non-communicable diseases being at the decrease, then you have a higher chance, or the longevity increases. The risk of death reduces. Yeah. And many studies too have worked with this. And most of this, what they have done is try to start from longer studies, like studies that they have followed people for many years to see what happens with their immune system. People recover quicker. The same disease condition, the same environment, but the only factor that is different is the stronger social network. People with stronger social network are able to recover quicker, have a stronger immunity, so they do not easily, they are not easily down by illnesses as compared to those that live alone, are lonely, or have weaker social networks in general. So to summarize all the impacts or all the benefits of these social networks, I have this short video that takes us about 2 minutes. I think 2 to 3 minutes, and I'd just like to play it to bring home all these benefits that I've just mentioned. Yeah. So let me stop sharing and play that.
If you talk to someone that has recently
Doc, can you hear me? Can you hear?
moved,
Yes.
Okay, I'll make it big now. Yeah. Okay, so as I said, this is just almost 3 minutes. It just brings everything together about the advantages or the benefits we derive from stronger ties. Yeah.
If you talk to someone that has recently moved, started a new job, or retired, and ask them what they miss most about their past situation, one of the most common answers is that they miss the people that were in their life. What that actually means is that they miss the social connections or relationships that they had with those people. Social connections or social interactions with other individuals is crucial to mental health, which in turn is crucial to overall health. The lack of social connections has shown to increase stress hormones, weaken the immune system, and lessen cardiovascular functions. People who are lonely tend to consume more alcohol, exercise less, have less quality sleep, and fatigue easily. Social relationships allow you to share your achievements and have support when times are tough. Imagine achieving a long-term goal you had. What's the first thing you want to do? Tell someone, of course. Or imagine if something terrible happened. Not having someone to lean on and talk to can make that event linger and make you feel even more isolated. Giving support in relationships can actually be more beneficial than receiving support. When someone shares something positive in their life with you, it's a compliment. They wanted you to be a part of their success, and they know that you have a sincere interest in their life. And when someone shares a tragedy in their life, you know they really trust you, and they're looking to you to help them through this difficult time. Now, some social relationships can be bad. A person that is constantly negative and has a poor outlook can bring you down and cause stress, making that relationship toxic. Someone that always talks about themselves and makes all of your interactions about them, well, that's not really a social connection. In that case, you're just an audience member in their one-person show on how wonderful their life is. Poor marital or poor relationship quality can also weaken the immune system and erode physical health. Dealing with stress from a poor relationship can lead to over-consuming food or alcohol, smoking, or taking medications to deal with the stress, which in turn can damage systems in the body. Connections through social media can be beneficial by allowing you to stay in touch with friends and family. However,
Social media connections are not a good alternative for face-to-face, in-person contact. And too much time spent on social media can lead to more isolation and a greater feeling of loneliness. It's a good practice to use social media in moderation. To be healthy, we need people in our lives. It doesn't need to be 5,000 Facebook friends, and we don't have to have everyone like us. Having strong social relationships with just a few people is fine. A few people that we can share life's good and bad moments with, a few people that we can connect with on a regular basis with no stress and no judgments. A few people who accept us for who we are. Surround yourself with good people, folks. Good people.
All right. So that was a short video just to summarize all that I've said. Any question before I continue?
I have a question.
Do you have a question? Yeah, please.
Yes, I
go
do.
ahead.
I like all that you've shared so far. I like the fact that, having a good social network can impact on your physical health, can, all of these positives. But there are people who would swear to you that they just can't. They're introverts. They don't know how to connect with others. Are these people going to lose out on all of these benefits from having these social networks?
Or of not having the social networks, is that what you mean? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think so, and I think we would come to look at even in your small or even in the introvert nature of life, how do we still improve that? How do we tap these benefits? How do we still get something from it rather than to let it just pass us by? So we'll come to look at more that, but I think yes, they will need to get you. We need to make a change to be able to get it. So it doesn't mean a lot, but just the little that you can do to also get a bit of the benefit. There's one important thing that I did forget of, and during the video it came up. It's about our phones, about the social media that we have. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all that. What is this? How with this, would we still get the benefits as compared to a face-to-face contact? No. The answer is no. So and I like the what now they try to coin this. So with all this social media and all this what we have, they refer to it as the junk food of our social life, because it's mimicking what we should get, but we are not getting it. So it's like me waking up and after posting something on this, I want to see the number of likes. There are 1,000 friends. People don't know them all over the world. And one sad thing is that even you look at even people that have passed away, these people from social media come on that day and say happy birthday. They don't even know you. They don't even know that something has happened. So you're just like an audience in it. So you will not get that benefit that we are talking about. So that's the junk food. And as we get to the end, when we are looking at the strategies, we also look at strategies of how to reduce the junk food of our social life. All right. So without any question, let me continue. Yeah. So as Hibbah mentioned at the beginning, there are a lot of research that has been done looking at this, and that's how come we got to know the positives, the benefits of it. However, with our own community, there's less research about that. We know very little when it comes to the impact it has for us. So because of that, we carried out this study to be able to understand, because there's this perception that people hold that migrants that are here have stronger resilience, have stronger social networks. So I wanted to find out, yes, how does this work with our Black community? So this study was conducted in Birmingham, looking at 100 Black and ethnic minority older adults that were from Black, African and Caribbean backgrounds, and also South Asians. So these 100 people, we met them at the beginning, then followed them up for 8 months to see what was happening. So at the beginning, when we met them, we asked them, so like that scale that we did, there's also another scale that we looked at, how their social networks, how many friends, how many family, how do they come about. So we put all this to look at the number and quality to be able to measure their social network. And also we picked other things about their BP, their BMI and other measures. Now, what we did was that with what they did to measure their social network and follow them up 8 months again, this graph just shows us the changes that we had over time. So these are major groups of social networks they used to describe when it comes to the scale we're using with older adults. So this one called locally integrated is a good network. Locally integrated and wider community means that these people have more, in terms of number and quality, they have more. Then when we come to look at this at the end here, these are privately restricted or locally self-contained. They're either by themselves, they have very, very fewer social networks. So as compared to people at this within here. So we call that the integrated and non-integrated. So the non-integrated, as is red, is not good. So when we started with, we found out that these people were, we found out that let me just put these ones in. Yeah. So within 8 months, people that were in this group, as you can see, the 19 people that were in this group, 19 of them moved to a poorer social network. So they started well, everything was well, and they moved on to a poorer social network. Then when we look at that, 11 of them moved over to stronger social networks, but it was dynamic. So we can see that more of them rather moved to the poorer social networks than those that moved, or those that gained, or those that are stronger social networks. And we, apart from that, looking at just those that we found at the beginning that were at stronger social network, there were 43, and this is in terms of percent. Then at the follow-up, it reduced. So if you look at it, you can see that with the good side, the follow-up, there was a reduction as compared to the bad side.
I need you to break that down again.
Okay. So
what does that mean?
So what does that mean is that within our Black community, we found out that when we just met them, we found out that almost about half of them had stronger social networks. That is half. So that means the other half did not. The other half belonged to other networks that we didn't consider to be stronger for them to derive those benefits from it. Now we follow these people up and over a period of just only 8 months, not that long, just only 8 months, by having to ask them again about, oh, okay, when I came 8 months ago, you told me that you had this disease. How is it now? And within just the period of 8 months, it had declined that very much. So that is just the
people who had a stronger social network, when you followed them up after 8 months, you realize that some of them had declined. They no longer had stronger networks, social networks.
That's right. They now moved to what we called the non-integrated. They now moved to the weaker social networks. They now they lost 1 or 2 things that they now got themselves into the weaker social networks. And as I just said with this percentage here, more of them transitioned to that in just less than 8 months.
Okay.
Not anything long. But that's just the profile of it. So it's not that we are like majority of the people that we looked at had stronger social networks. No, about half of them had stronger social networks. But again, they still lost it within 8 months. Yeah.
Within the half who had a stronger social network, in less than a year, you realize that some of them were even losing their strong social network. Okay, I'm interested in this. Yeah. Did you find out why?
Yes, and which we will come to look at it to see, because we wanted, these were just things that we wanted to now dig in to find out why. Why was this happening? In just less than a very short period of time. So I'll come to that to look at more in that. So apart from asking them about their social networks, we also wanted to find out how strong they were. And this thing is called physical function. Physical function just simply refers to how strong you are able to go out and about, how strong you are to carry out the daily activities that you do, like getting out of a chair, bathing, going for shopping, cooking, and those things. So those were just they call them activities of daily life. So how strong are you to be able to carry out these activities of daily lives? So the things we measured from them was how they are able to balance, how they are able to get out of a chair and back, and their hand grip, their hand grip. And this was also done again at the beginning, and also we followed them up again to find out how it was. So as I said, these are just things to be able to perform in our various. So it's quite important when you're looking at older adults in that regard. It's quite important because it helps them to be able to carry out these activities of daily living and to do all these activities within. So as I said, so this was it, like getting off a chair, balance, and holding this thing to measure their strength of their hands, and we see. So again, we wanted to see, okay, so those that are stronger social networks, how does it link to how strong they are to carry out these activities of daily living? Would they have stronger muscles? Would they have weaker muscles? How would that be compared to? So if you can see from here, those that we met them at the beginning, came again at 8 months, and they were still poor at the poorer social network. So we started them well. We saw them, they were in that poor social network. We came back in less than a year, they were still in that poor social network. They were the lowest. You can see that they had weaker strength to do these activities of daily living that are very important for us to carry out anything in life. Quality of life, our nutrition, anything, cooking and all that. Yes, Hibbah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like you're going a bit too fast. So let me just break it down. So the people who didn't have a strong social network were the people who were unable to do those basic activities of daily life. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not.
Okay, can you explain that again?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think in some extent you say that, but what we measured how strong their muscles are. So in layman terms, what we just measured was, are you able to do the activities that you do? And if you're able to do, how much are you able to do? So there's a score we give to you to show that, okay, my muscle, how strong are my muscles to be able to allow me to do these daily activities of daily living, to do all these activities. Is that okay?
Yes.
So those that were in poorer social networks at the beginning, we came again, there was in poorer social networks. They had weaker strength to do this. So let me use the word strength. They didn't have that enough strength to be able to carry out these activities. As compared to those that we met that were in stronger social networks, and we came back again and they were in those stronger social networks. They had that strength, they had that ability to be able to carry out these activities. So you can see just the linkage within even our own community about the importance of social networks just in our own community in terms of how they're able to go about to do other activities. And as I said, if you see the importance of being able to have that strength, it will affect you the way you eat, what you eat, because you won't be able to cook, you won't be able to shop. So you end up eating junk foods, you end up eating other things, and there's a further decline. So it's like you're just going down a hill and there's nothing that can stop you. Just keep going down. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, so that was just what I said earlier, the decline. So now, to your point, you wanted to know what was happening, like why was this the case? So what we did was that we interviewed these people, and in research we call this qualitative. We wanted to find out for them to tell us their own stories. Why was this happening? And this was what we realized. We realized that men had more declines. Men lost social networks than women. So men that we came that were in stronger social networks, when we followed them in less than a year, they had poorer social networks. Then also, those that lost the social networks were actually, it affected the way they cooked, the way they shopped. And this is just a quote to I just highlighted a few for us to see. This is a 65-year-old woman who moved from a stronger social network to a poorer social network, and it's explaining to us how it's affecting nutrition. how they eat and what they do. So you can see, as I'll just read the highlighted part. He said, I used to have my wife. My wife used to cook. Sorry, this is a man. Sorry. My wife used to cook, but now I have to do all by myself, and it's not easy. I don't know how to cook. And mostly you can see with our traditional foods, you have to stand for a very long time cooking and doing other things. He can't do that. And now that he can't do that, what he has done is that he has resorted to takeaway foods and other junk foods that he shouldn't be having. Now, this is in terms of physical activity. This person also used to have friends that come around to go for a meal. So as I said, the stronger social network linking to your nutrition, the better nutrition that you have, what to eat. Now, they don't come again. So this person is likely to skip meal. Apart from skipping meal, this person is not used to exercise and do other things, but now feel a bit lazy and don't want to even walk alone. Because after the meal, they used to walk and do other things. So overall, general health was better. General well-being was better as compared to now. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a female Caribbean lady who, and I think this happens in most of our communities, where when we had the social networks, we used to like eat in moderation, don't eat much, don't do this. But now we are alone. What do we do? Or we have fewer, the children are out of the house, friends that used to come don't come, but we still cook the same pot. We still put the same size pot on. So at the end of the day, the food shouldn't go away, so you end up eating. And this contributes to obesity, contributes to your type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and all that, and all along. Yeah. All right. So just to, I'm conscious of the time, and I can see
Yeah,
some.
we just have a few more minutes. Five
Yeah.
more minutes, so we can leave
5 more minutes. So we did the score at the beginning. I want to know what were our score. So looking at this, those that are here, so if you are here, you have strong ties. You are here, you have weak ties. But let's look at the score that we had. What score did we have? Would we say we have more social engagement, which is from the 8 going, or we have weaker social engagement?
Mine is definitely more social engagement.
What about others? What about others? Okay. So let me just run through the last. So the last bit is just trying to find out and to make action for the year. We can call this a New Year resolution. We can call this end of year resolution. What can we do? Even with our cars, we go for MOT every year. What about our social networks? What can we do? Can we have like an MOT of our life to see what happens to our social networks without waiting to get into poorer social networks? So Hibbah, as you said, you are stronger now. Do we have an evaluation every year to see that, can I improve on it? Can I get better at it and derive all these benefits rather than waiting till things are getting bad? So making a conscious effort. And these are some of the top tips that I want to leave you guys with. And please, I'll put them in the chat. We can call it an action week, an action month. Just put it in as Christmas is coming, as other things are coming. We watch our thoughts. We say yes more often. Here, as you mentioned earlier, more introverts don't want to go out. They want to stay in their bubble. Get out, talk to people, meet people, say hello, derive that benefit. Because you remember that it is you get more benefits of social network in giving than receiving, which is also more religious, even in the sense that it is more to give than to receive. Then there's this one that I want to leave with. Prioritize social connections. When you have a call or when somebody is talking to you, devote that time to talk. I know there are other people that you have a call, they want to multitask. At the end of the day, the other person at the other person line gets frustrated and ends the call. There's this thing I want you to try. Try this 8 minutes phone challenge. Somebody you haven't reached out for a very long time, send them a text. Tell them that, look, I haven't heard from you for a very long time. Can we schedule time and just talk? Take your time and just devote 8 minutes. After the 8 minutes, you see the benefits you get from the 8 minutes. You see what you have after just the 8 minutes talk with that. So I think let's try and do that. And remember, the little things like the birthdays, the anniversaries, they are very important. They are the things that keeps us connected. They are the things that keeps the relationship going, that keeps us increasing the ties on. And yeah, and as I said, establishing old networks that you have lost. A friend you haven't seen in a very long time, can you reach out and see what is happening? Also, if we recently moved to an area, or even we have been in the area for long, let's try and see what they do in the community. Visit your local community center. What do? They might be doing very interesting things that you're not aware of. But because you're always in the house, go out, build that network. Because it's like trying, you know the benefits. So I want the benefits. So in this case, you are being selfish, like trying to get the benefits for yourself so that you can live long, have a good nutrition, have a good well-being, good quality of life. Yeah. So that's just the conclusion. So we're setting our goals to improve our social networks. And please, let's keep a New Year resolution. Let's try and do, as Christmas is coming, as festivity period, let's put in a conscious effort. First, assess your social network and now build in time to improve it. If it is strong, make it stronger. If it's stronger, make it the strongest. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I think Emmanuel's hand is up.
Yes, thank you, Evans. Can you kindly stop sharing so we can have a brief discussion? Yes, Emmanuel, can you unmute yourself? Are you able to speak?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much for the thoughtful words. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Honestly, I've been on and off, so I haven't been able to follow up the presentation very well. But I have just a few questions for you, or two questions actually. I was just wondering how you measure strength in your study, and also talking about social network. I was wondering where the study was conducted because I spent a couple of years in the UK, and life over there is completely different in terms of trying to network as compared to my situation here in Ghana now. And unfortunately, things are even getting similar to what I saw in the UK, where you try calling somebody and they would rather prefer you texting them. So I was just wondering where this study was conducted and where we are getting to with it.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
And Evans, that's a really good point. I just want to add something to what Emmanuel said. I noticed that it was older adults you studied. Now, all the African immigrant and Black people of Caribbean origin that I've studied who are working will tell you they don't have time. Particularly the West African immigrants that I have studied, they're doing 2-3 jobs, So I wonder if the findings would have been different for people who just constantly work because they have to survive in this country. This is a group of people who might be on retirement or something like that. So yeah, this is just to add on to Emmanuel's question.
Yeah, so Emmanuel, to start with the very first one, which are the way we measured strength, we measured them using a host of measures. First, having a machine for them to squeeze, and there's a reading on it that tells us the muscle strength. We also did measure strength by them getting up and down from a chair, and also their balance, how they're able to balance themselves and walk on a straight line. So we put this is a composite measurement that putting the score together, it gave us a mark. And with that, we'll know whether the person is the person has poorer strength or the person is doing well in terms of strength. The study was conducted in Birmingham, and that's where we did it. And Hibbah, you're right. I think I would honestly say if the study was even conducted in a younger population, it would have been worse, as compared to the fact that these are even retired people that have time to connect and all that. And one thing to mention is that the network you have now is like a currency. When you are getting old, you lose your networks. Inevitably, if you have 100 social net or 100 friends and family, you lose some. Naturally, some due to death, some due to other things. Naturally, others also just move out and about. So we are advised, if we're young now, to have the strongest social networks, so that when we are even getting old and we're losing some, we can still have enough to derive the benefits from it. Yeah.
Thank you. Someone would argue that it's easier said than done, but I'm happy that you gave us all of those tips in there, that we should make it a New Year's resolution to try and do better, irrespective of how many jobs we have, and the fact that we are working. We've learned that our social connections are linked not only to our mental health but our physical health as well. So we need to do better. Do we have any final question? Any comment from anyone on this very important topic? If not, we just have a minute left. So Evans, do you have any final words for us?
Yeah, the final thing is just to say that, as you said, it's easier said than done. But I would say yes. It's a conscious effort. For people that are already on medication or anything, you can say that if they are going to, they set time for it to take their medicines for their BP. They set time to do. We can do it if we put our mind to it. So it's a conscious effort. As I said, always try to say yes. Try the 8-minute challenge. Try to see that this week I am trying to reach out to lost friends. I'm trying to get my network back. I'm trying to derive that and see what happens. So please, I'll end with that, and to say, as a New Year resolution, let's consciously review it, assess our social networks, and put in plans, put in the time to build it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Evans. That was really, really informative. Thank you so much. Final words from me. I'm always saying that lifestyle changes need to be deliberate. That is not just your diet. It's not just your physical activity. Today, we are talking about social connections. The research tells us that it impacts on our health, mental health, physical health. So for us to have long, healthier lives, we need to have positive social networks. And Evans has shared some tips with us as to how we can build these positive social networks. So until we come your way again next week, please try to put in some of the tips Evans has shared with us. So next time you can share how you're doing with your networks. If you can, please stay on and join the physical activity session with Orlando. Next week, we have another interesting session on skin health, how nutrition impacts on our skin health. So I do hope you will join us same time next week. Thank you so much for the engagement, and thank you, Evans, once again.
Thank you, Hibbah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hibbah, and hello and welcome. I hope everybody will stay on. Again, a big welcome to everybody across YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. Welcome to tonight's exercise session. As promised, we have an ab and core session planned for you today. All you need today for this session is a mat, plenty of water, and plenty of space. All right, so boom, time's ticking. Let's get straight into it, my people. Let me turn my music up. All right, so we're going to start off with some high knees, okay? Static high knees. So we're going to try and bring those knees up to the waist height, okay? Let's get ready now. Let's go on the drop. So alternative knees for 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Get those knees nice and high. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next one we've got adaptive star jumps. So we're going side to side. Make sure you get that hand right above your head. Let's go. Five seconds. 2, 1. Okay, next one we've got diagonal torso twist. So we're going to go from the leg, we're going to twist up to the sky. Stay on one side. Let's go. Okay, change sides. Keep that going, keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Okay, shake off 15 seconds. Take a sip of water if you need it. Okay, people, back to your spaces. Let's continue this warm-up now. So next we have half squat to, okay, so squatting down halfway, reaching up high to the ceiling. Let's go. Keep that going, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, open the gates. Keep that going, 5 seconds. 1. Next to your adaptive start moves. Last one. Ready, that's where we go. Stretch it, keep going. 3, 2, 1. And that's time. Okay, take a 20-second break. Take on some water if you need it. And we're going to go to circuit number 1. Let's go. Okay, people, back to your spaces. Get your mats handy now as well. So bring in your mats in now as well. All right, so we've got 2 circuits to get through, 4 exercises per circuit. And we're going to work at each exercise for 60 seconds. Okay, if you remember, if you're on these calls for a while now, we're going to try and work at 5 or 6 on the scale, RPE scale. So 10 being the hardest you've ever worked, and 1 being sat down, chilling, with some juice, watching Netflix. All right, we want to get to about 5 or 6. If you can push yourself to a 7 or 8, then feel free to do so. And again, if you need to decrease it a little bit and work at a bit of a slower pace, then go down to a 3 or 4. But if you're able-bodied, level 5 and 6, we're going to work at today. All right, so first 2 moves. Exercise 1, we've got crunches. Exercise 2, we've got leg flutters. Okay, let me just show you real quick. So crunches. We're here, legs up, hands on head. I'm going to go elbows to knees. Okay, elbows to knees. As you bring the elbows to the knees, Really make sure you're contracting those abs, okay? You're leading up with the abs, all right? And then from there, we've got hand under the bum, slight lean, legs straight, and we've got small footing right there, working the lower abs, okay? So from crunches, 60 seconds, rest, to leg flutters. Okay, let's get started now, people. Turn my tunes up. Now your crunches in 3, 2, 1. Let's crunch, people. Let's go. Keep that going, people. Halfway. Remember, make sure you're feeling right with the stomach. Leading up with the stomach. Elbows to knees. 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, rest right there. People. Rest right there. Breathe. Get those reps in. Things coming up next. And get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Floating hips. Go. Keep that going. Keep that going. Last 20 seconds, people. Small. Up and down with the legs. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take 30-second rest. Open the window. So listening while you rest. Next 2 moves, we've got a lying hip raise, and then we've got a glute bridge. So watch both moves. So lying hip raise, we've got our legs bent here. I'm just gonna rock back. See if we get angle here. I'm gonna rock back, lift the hips. So down, up, lift the hips. Lift the hips. And then from there, we've got glute bridges. So dig your heels in, put your hand on the floor, and boom, raising the bum up to the ceiling. Bang, like so. Like so. So raises here, 1 minute. Raises, 2nd minute. Let's go. Let's finish the round, people. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hip raise. That going, people. Halfway. Fifteen seconds, people. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, quick 20-second rest, and then we're going to finish the round with glute bridges. Second. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Glute bridges, everybody. Go. Over halfway now. Last 20 seconds, people. Let's go. Keep raising those glutes. Keep that core locked in. Three, 2, 1, and that's time, people. Well done. Circuit 1 complete. Take 30 seconds, take on some water, and then we're going to get circuit number 2. Well done. Okay, people, let's go. Bring it back to your spaces now. Let's get into circuit number 2. Okay, so first 2 moves, we've got 4 sit-ups, and then we've got rock the boats. Okay, so watching both moves. 4 sit-ups. Maybe here, legs bent. We're going down, we're stretching, we're coming up, we're touching the floor. We're going down, stretch the abs, come up, touch the floor. 60 seconds there. Then the next move, we've got our legs together, lying flat. We're going to touch the knees, bang, each side of the floor. Bang. Keeping that core engaged. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, so for full sit-ups to rock the boats. It's your first 2 moves, people. Let's go. Let's turn the music back up. Get ready, people. Let's go on the drop. If you can hear the tunes. Get yourself ready. Okay, on your buns, full sit up to the start. We're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Back on. 20 seconds to go, my people. Keep working it now. Ten seconds. 2, One. And rest there, people. 20 seconds. Take on some water if you need it. Rock the boat's coming in next. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Rock the boat. Let's go. Twenty seconds left, people. Keep it going. Come on. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 30 seconds. Rest for you. Let's go. Okay, listening while you're resting, people. Last 2 moves coming your way. So move number 3, we've got the extended arm plank. And move number 4, the last move, is Russian twists. Okay, so look in real quick. So it's extended arm plank. We're at the top end of a press up. Okay, so top end of a press up here. This. Okay, so holding here nice and strong. Squeezing our bum, squeezing our abs. And we'll hold it right there. If we need to come down for a second, quick shake off, quick stretch, and then we straight back up. Okay, from there, we have Russian twists. Here, heels on the ground, lean back slightly, and we're touching both sides of the floor. So here, touch, 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 touch. Okay, so extended arm plank, and then we're going to Russian twist to finish. Let's go, people. Last 2 moves. 3, 2, 1. Get into that extended arm plank. Let's go. Remember, squeeze that forward. Keep the abs nice and tight. Nice stable shoulders. Mind focus. Halfway, halfway. Oh, oh. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest for 20 seconds. Last move coming up. Russian twists. Ten seconds and the right eye. Last move. Let's go. Get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Russian twists. Back on, people. Halfway now. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Well done, well done. All right, take on some water, and then we'll pull down and stretch out. Well done. Okay, people, join me back in your spaces. Let's stretch up a little bit here. So we're going to start with hands on the thighs, raise up to the ceiling, open. Back to the middle, back down. Let's go again. Open the stomach up. Four. To the middle. Let's go next side to side. Ear to shoulder. Okay, waist front to back. Push those abs out. Back. Forward. Push those abs out. Back. Forward. To the middle. Okay. Legs together, arms either side, we're sliding down both sides, nice and slow. Back to the middle, take it all off, make sure your abs are still there, and that's time, people, well done. Big session, well done. Not sure if Sam or Praise are on the call. Close it up. Not sure who's on the call with me. Maybe no one's on. I'll just shut it down. All right, people. So thank you for everyone that got involved tonight, whether on YouTube, Facebook, or Zoom. I hope everyone enjoyed the initial seminar, and I hope you stayed on and enjoyed our ab circuit. Next week, we have an upper body session, so be ready for that. Same time, 7:30 till 8, and that is, for that, we have the seminar, 6:30 till 7:30. All right, people, but until next week, till next time, have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Orlando, and thank you everyone for joining. See you same time next week. Thank you. Bye.